Hello, it's Pete back. Today I'm doing my very first trailer review. I've got my Star Wars t-shirt on, so you can tell today I'm going to be doing the review of the first teaser trailer for Star Wars Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, which came out yesterday, I believe. I missed it actually launching. I watched it today, so I'm going to give some quick feedback, my thoughts on the trailer. I'm not one of those guys where I like to freeze frame and go through every single little bit and pick apart what everything might possibly mean. To me, that sort of destroys the fun of the movie when it comes out. So I'm just going to talk in general terms about what I liked about it and what I didn't. In general, though, there's not much to dislike here. I have to say, I was really primed for this movie. Quite surprised we didn't get a trailer already. I was a bit concerned because Force Awakens had already dropped a trailer by this point. I know it's coming out in December, and I'm like, why is there nothing for this movie? So they dropped a teaser, and really, it's more of a proper trailer. And I actually was really, really impressed with it. I think it was better than the first Force Awakens teaser we got, to be honest. I mean, I was excited for that because it was obviously a new Star Wars film, the first one for a long time. So excited just as an event, it was exciting. As an actual trailer, it was a little bit disappointing. This one was much better. Like, for a first trailer, I think they, straight off the bat, it told you what this film was going to be. It told you the tone we were going to have. You got to see some of the old school stormtroopers, which I loved. I mean, I loved having the new ones in Force Awakens, but it was great to be back with the old school stormtroopers. The look of it looked very like you knew this was an earlier era in Star Wars. Seeing all the Star Destroyers, seeing the awesome shot of a Death Star plate coming into play. I think, though, it did a really good job of establishing what this was going to be and establishing it's going to be something different from Force Awakens. Because one of the big problems they may have had with this movie is people being confused and thinking it was a continuation. You've still got a female character in there who's pretty kick-ass, which I like. I like the fact we're getting another kick-ass female main character. I also like the fact that this is not what some people suggested is she was going to play Sabine, which is one of the female characters out of Star Wars Rebels. I really didn't want that, and I really didn't think Disney were going to do that, because I mean the Rebels cartoon's fine, but it is for kids, and I thought it's unlikely they're going to kind of alienate a large part of the audience by having it as an already established character. That Felicity Jones, we knew Felicity Jones was going to be the main character for a while. I'm glad they've established straight off the bat the name. We know it's not her. We know it's a different character, a completely new character. Audiences can get on board with. And you also saw a couple of the other characters who are going to feature in it as well. We're definitely getting that story that I hope we were getting, that was what people rumoured for a while, which is the bounty hunter type story, where it's a load of bounty hunters essentially teaming up to get the Death Star plans, which was already what people thought. But then when they announced the title of Rogue One, there was some people somewhere, me included, who thought, are we going to get more of like an X-Wing fighter story, because obviously that's what they call themselves. It comes as Rogues 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So once the title launched, I was like, is this an X-Wing movie now? Is it just going to be more sort of like almost like a Top Gun version in space, which I didn't really want to see. But this looks like we are getting that awesome bounty hunters stealing the death plans type story, almost like a Guardians of the Galaxy, if you will. And it looks like it's got a little bit of a harder edge to it than the main Star Wars movies, but it's still going to have that family-friendly tone. It's not going to be an R-rated film by any means, but we're introducing the character played by Felicity Jones. Her name escapes me right now. I've only seen the trailer a couple of times, but she seems to be this sort of badass, roguish type character, which I really like. And I like the fact, actually, that they didn't include any Darth Vader breathing or any Darth Vader presence in this first trailer. A lot of people were speculating online they would definitely include it. They would definitely include some of the Darth Vader breathing or something like that. But it looks like that's not going to be the case. And I think that's good, because I don't think it needed it. I think this film did enough to establish that this was a different era from what we're getting with Force Awakens. It was also not like relying too heavily on those old tropes. It relied on a little bit. You saw young Grand Moff Tarkin, you saw Death Star, you saw Star Destroyers, you saw old Stormtroopers. I think you didn't need the Vader in there as well. I think that they did a good job of letting you know that this is really a brand new story that you're getting, set in that older time. And it really does call back to one of the coolest things about Star Wars, because back in the day when there was just 3 Star Wars movies, a lot of the fun used to come from all those little side characters that you used to get. And you used to get like figures of, I remember as a kid having figures of people like Nien Nunb and other characters that were really, when you watch the movies, they were in the movie for like 5 seconds and they had no story whatsoever. Hammerhead was another one. I remember having these characters, and you used to sort of invent whole stories to these little characters whose role in the movie was actually just to be on screen for 5 seconds. And I think that these anthology movies that they're doing just open up this possibility now where, not that there's ever going to be a Hammerhead movie, but just sort of give you some more background to these sort of side characters and background characters, let them have their own movies and expand the world a little bit. I'm not always a big fan of these shared universe type things. Sometimes it's just done as a gimmick and it feels like you're trying too hard. But with this, I think there's some genuinely... it's a great big universe to explore, and I think this is a great place to start. You know, it's a story about how to get the Death Star plan, so it sort of ties into the original trilogy. It's filling in, you know, some gaps, but not in the way that the prequels did it, where it was filling in gaps of things you really didn't want to know about, like how the Force worked and stuff like that. This is sort of giving you some concrete, cool information, and hopefully it will lead right into, you know, Episode 4, so you'll almost be able to watch them kind of back to back. And whenever you do a Star Wars marathon now, you'll be able to slot this one in between the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy. You'll be able to watch Rogue One, and it will fill in those gaps for you. Only problem I have with it is that Star Wars story tagline. I'm not a fan of that. I really was hoping that they would, in the final trailer, have dropped it or revert back to what it's originally going to be called, where it's going to be called Star Wars Anthology. I just prefer that as a title. The Star Wars story does seem very dumb. It seems like we have to literally have Star Wars in there somewhere and spell it out, but it's a story. It's not Episode 8 or whatever. I was like, do we really need to do that? So, a bit disappointed they didn't drop that. But aside from that, this was a solid trailer. It did everything it needed to. It got me really, really excited. For a film I was already excited for, but then difficult to get excited about something when you've not seen anything from it at all. I like it when you see a decent amount of footage, not too much to give the game away. Star Wars trailers last time were perfect. They did it just well. Didn't give me any of the main story points, but I got the flavour of the movie. I'm getting the flavour here. Really, really digging it. I think, personally, Force Awakens for me was an absolute masterpiece. I thought we knocked it out of the park. Really got off to a strong start. And there seems to be a strong understanding of what people like about Star Wars, and Disney are really playing to that. They seem to be playing to that with this trailer. They're playing to that with Force Awakens, as well as giving us a bit of a fresh spin and a fresh take. We still haven't seen all the cast, we still haven't seen all the characters, or had a proper understanding of exactly what the story is, but we do have a general overview, which is all you need from this first trailer. So yeah, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up. So it's a great trailer. Definitely, obviously, you will probably checked it out by now. It's got me really excited for this December, and it was really for a film, although I'm excited for, you know, it is the in-between one between one of the main Star Wars movies, so there's a cynical part that's like, do I really want to watch this? Am I really looking forward to it? But after seeing this trailer, it's really got me jazzed for it. I think it'll be really good. And the other thing I thought about it is that it's the one-shot movie now is becoming sort of a forgotten art, I think. You're getting a lot of these shared universe films like Batman v Superman, a lot of sequels. I mean, even Episode 7 is very much the first part of a trilogy. It leaves a lot of open strands for another film, which is great. But it is nice to have a film where we're like, with any luck, this will be a sort of self-contained story. We won't really need a Rogue 2 or a Rogue 3. It will pretty much be, as is, a standalone movie set in a Star Wars universe. Will have a beginning, middle, and end. Will have a satisfying conclusion. And it will make a nice change, really, from all of these films where it's constantly a part of a bigger picture and you need to watch 5 other movies to understand what's going on. So it'll be a great way, I think, as well for younger fans who weren't around at the time of original Star Wars to get a brand new Star Wars universe story set in that time period that they can just jump straight into. They don't need to go back and watch the original trilogy if you don't want to. Yeah, so that's the other great thing about it. So yeah, I'm literally very, very excited now for December. December can't come quick enough, and that's it. That's my first trailer review. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, share it around. And of course, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments as well. Okay, so I'll see you soon for another review. Bye!